Welcome back, Journeyers. As always, it is our honor to be part of your improv journey. We are exploring the themes that show up in your life, from bravery to community, relationships to your inner self. We are using improv to help you connect to yourself and others. The journey guides for this evening are here to help you connect. Feel free to participate at any level that is comfortable for you. Our journey guides may ask you for a suggestion, a comment, or a reflection. Please put those in the chat. As our scientist explores the theme, let us know how it shows up in your life. Participate with us during our drama therapist session. As always, as our special guest, we have a journeyer just like you, a non-improviser who will need your support, your cheers, your laughter, and reflection. Welcome back, Journeyer. You've grown. What we're supposed to be doing. What we're supposed to be doing is talking about playfulness, Aaron.
Oh, yes, Shannon. That is the theme for the day.
Oh my gosh. Oh no. And look at that. And we are also supposed to be welcoming our journeyers.
Hey, listeners. Good to see you.
Hi, journeyers. It's good to see you. Welcome back, as always, to Improv On and Off the show. Aaron, this is our last show of the entire season.
Yeah, but it's not our last show ever. It's just a little break.
Yeah, it's just a little break, but it's like we have done so much this year. We talked about community overall the whole time, and then we've had all of these different themes throughout the month, throughout each month. And it's exciting to round out with playfulness, especially now with like just it feels like there isn't room for playfulness right now.
Right. But we're going into a very playful season in my mind, right?
It's true.
Yeah, the holidays feel like a very playful season.
Mhm.
And I feel like ending community with playfulness is maybe just a good moral lesson for how we should view community at all times. No matter what else you're doing, and with a little bit of play.
Yeah, absolutely. Begin with a little bit of play.
Play
it's
all the time.
Play all the time. How's playfulness showing up in your life?
Well, this morning, it was day 2 or 3 of sticker wars in my household. We got a big roll of stickers from, I don't know, a grocery store at some point, I think. And my children, my two children, and my wife and I enjoy just putting stickers on each other as we're waking up in the morning, getting ready for school and such. It's a great activity. Have a good time. There's different values apparently in which sticker gets placed on you and where. Pickle dog, which is a hot dog bun with a pickle in it, is a very high value sticker in case anyone was just trying to figure that out. We're trying to get away from having the butt be the primary target, but you know what? Butts are playful. So that just happens. So.
It does. I want to know just a little bit more about after after playing Sticker War in the
Mhm.
morning, like, what's the feeling of the household? Like, how's it feeling in there?
It goes from like a, "Oh, I can't believe I have to wake up so early, it's still dark outside" mood to like a, "Yes, I've accomplished something with my young life" sort of attitude, even amongst my wife and I. We definitely have this like, I don't know if you know this, dear partner, but you've had a pickle dog sticker on your butt the entire time for the last few hours, and I put it there. So it's a very good sort of like way of maintaining a good back and forth in the family. It's
Yeah.
energizing. Play is energizing.
It is. It's,
Mhm.
sometimes, like, the idea of waking up and getting out of bed, like you said, in the cold can be so it can be very tiring, but I've noticed that I just I I told myself I wasn't gonna tell anybody, but
Ooh.
no one too many people are here, but I got tattoos, okay? I got some tattoos. I'm not they're on my body, and they're placed so that I can see them at all times. I can see them, and, I talk to them, and I recognize, like, with nowadays, when I get up in the morning, these even though they're only a week old, but when I get up in the morning, I've got, like, one tattoo is like, "Good morning," and I'm like, "Good morning. It's good to see you, tattoo." The other one's like, "Hey, me too. I'm here too." I'm like, "Yes, let's get up together." They're like, "Yeah, what are we gonna do today?" I'm like, "Well, we're gonna do these things." And it makes me really excited because I've got friends all the time.
Yes. So that's the great thing about playfulness is you can be playful on your own and it's wonderful as you are doing with your extended selves. But it's also really great to have playfulness with other people. It's a great way for us to bond and form that community. And I was wondering if we could be playful with yet another person.
Absolutely. Bring Emily Arnold on here. Actually, hi,
Emily, drum
Emily.
roll.
Let's
Welcome to the
yeah,
lab. We're here.
Hey, Emily.
it's the
We're
lab.
here and it's play month.
It is play month. Aaron said something really cool. He was talking about playfulness with other people and then playfulness within the self. And I was like, right, you can be playful with yourself. You can play with yourself all day.
You
Oh, it's
sure
gonna be
can, Shannon.
it's gonna be great. This is gonna be a great one.
It's gonna be a
It's already great.
good show. Yeah, there are lots of ways that we can play and create games in our life. And my y'all want to learn some things in my
Yeah,
slides today?
here in the
Always.
lab.
We're
I
gonna do
wanna
Always.
some
learn.
learning today.
Yes.
So, welcome to the slide time, where we go over some slides, and where we also, for the first time, introduce down on the bottom, we have our drama therapist Luke Wallens down there, and our special guest journeyer today is Yinka Freeman. Hi, Yinka.
Hi, Yinka.
Hello.
Welcome.
So, let's do some learning about play today. So normally what I do as the team behavior analyst is define our theme, but instead I decided to go in a little bit of a different direction today, my friends. I know, because this is what's fun for me.
No,
This is
no, don't play with the structure. Don't play.
Ooh, meta play.
I'm I'm playing with the structure a little bit. And so today, what I'm actually going to do is within playfulness, I wanted to define two different things. Ooh. So I want to define play itself and then also game. And I think play and game are the things that we can combine to use playfulness in our lives. So if we're thinking about play, right? Play is essentially engaging in a set of behaviors where the primary function is enjoyment or mental stimulation, right? It's not necessarily survival. Sticker wars, Aaron, doesn't doesn't like make you survive as a human. You just do it because it's fun, right?
If you say so.
Like you will not stop breathing. It's not um,
True.
getting a sandwich or something. It's the added layer of thing that you're doing that is stimulating and enjoyable. And meanwhile, a game is a set of rules or contingencies that make the ultimate outcome of an activity more enjoyable or mentally stimulating. So the act of engaging in sticker wars, for example, is play. You're doing it because it's enjoyable, but the rules that you set for sticker wars, how much pickle dog is worth and where you put it, that's the game, right? Those are the rules surrounding it. Uh, so we're gonna dig into play really quick. What I mean by the whole like survivability thing. Um, and I found that definition from animal behavior. Anyone like to watch their little animals play?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
it's
Uh,
fun.
right. And they're playing for fun. Like when your dog Luke is playing with you, she's not doing it to like eat or survive, right? When cats are playing with toys, those are obviously like they're tuning their hunting instincts, but the ultimate outcome isn't food, right? I think a really good example in the animal kingdom. Has anyone ever watched the video of an orcas that just like toss seals in the air for funsies before they eat them?
Yes, yeah, we've seen those wonderfully horrific
Every
videos.
night before
Tell us,
bed just to help me sleep.
It's
tell
like
us.
so it's so messed up with these orcas that play with these seals. But yeah, they'll just take them and just toss them around and have a good old time. And they don't even always eat the seals, which is the wildest part. Sometimes they just let the seals swim away, like they're just messing with them. And so that's like an example of play in the animal kingdom. And so we as humans also have play, right? Like we play video games because it's mentally stimulating. And then as children, we learn to play. Um, and again, those aren't necessarily survivability pieces. It's mental engagement and stimulation, but not necessarily, we're not going to starve to death if we don't play, right?
Mhm.
So here's what when I want to talk about human play, I do want to talk about some human play skills really quick. Uh, we don't have to dig too far into this because this is a lot of words. But what I do want people to know and what's very important is that there is actually a lot to human play, right? It's not just something you're necessarily born doing. Um, we build these skills up as we go. So this pyramid is actually something I created for my preschool staff uh, to kind of talk about when we're looking at our kids play. They have foundational skills down here, and we want to build on those foundational skills. And we don't want to expect high level play when they're actually down here. And so when we start with play, we start with like very simple stimulation, like um, cause and effect toys or sensory toys where you can like feel things or lights come on and sounds come on and burp, burp, burp. And then as we grow, we start to like use a play object as the thing it represents, right? Use a phone as a phone or pretend to drive a car. And then as we start to grow in there, we start to engage in pretend play. Things where we're taking on a routine of saying like, oh, this cake isn't just a wooden cake, it's a delicious actual cake. Nom, 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 nom. And then substituting that cake would say like, I don't know, a block and being like, this block is a cake, nom, 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 nom. And then finally miming a cake and saying like, oh, this cake is delicious, nom, 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 nom. These are all skills that build on top of each other. And that's actually a pretty complex system. Do y'all have, Aaron, you have small humans in your life. What was your favorite like stage of play with your small humans?
I think the first time, and it happens with both the kids, where they are clearly not talking to an imaginary person, but just sort of like gaming out what they're gonna say. They like kind of like do a little like test run before they come and talk to you about something, because then they say the same words to you after they've done their test run, and it's pretty great.
That is so sweet. Yeah, and that's an advanced step of play, right? When you're like imagining, oh yes, yes, Shannon.
Oh, I wanna throw Yinka under the bus here to talk a little bit already because because as I'm thinking about the way we're talking about play, I feel like Yinka, in your industry, when you are putting together events, there is such a high level of play that you're like organizing for the client. And then I think Emily's going to get into it, but then there's like the safety of the game that you're providing for them. And I'm wondering if any of that is ringing true to you.
I understand what you mean. I understand what you mean, but it's a so as adults, it's harder to play, right? Kids play all the time. That's what children do. So when planning events, I have to take that into account in that adults don't tend to just play. We just don't, it's you got to nudge a little bit adults to play. When you were talking about the skills, I immediately thought about networking, and when I do networking events and how I kind of have to sneakily introduce play into networking events and make
Yeah.
it a game really at the end of the day. Especially when you do virtual events, because you are in that virtual space and it's kind of like you're playing a game, a video game. So I tend to introduce video game elements when I do
Yes.
virtual events, networking style.
Yeah. Yes. And let's go ahead and move on to game and like talk about it in that way because when I think about the difference between like a game and a task, right? The
Mhm.
game within the task is what makes it interesting. So like Yinka, you could just be like, well, we're putting on an event and we show up and then we talk. But that's not terribly interesting. If you had a football field and you had like a ball and you were like, okay, that ball just has to run 100 yards. That's it. That's boring, right? And so when we're creating games, when you're creating games, and setting these kind of rules within your task, you're making it more interesting and you're turning it into a game. Um, and so, what we can do throughout life is like that. We can gamify activities by adding interesting rules and contingencies. I love a Mary Poppins reference here because it's like spoonful of sugar, right? Where she's
Mhm.
like, well, you could clean, but it would be boring. But wouldn't it be more fun if we used magic? And the rule was like, we have to clean using magic and snapping our fingers and singing to birds. Way more fun and interesting. So like when we're doing activities, way more fun and interesting, we add things to it. Y'all want to have a little bit of science behind this or behavioral
Yes.
theory?
Do a
Uh,
lot of it.
so this is an example of what we would call stimulus pairing. And stimulus pairing is where you take two stimuli and you traditionally what you would do is you would take something that's like boring or neutral or even a little bit not fun and then add something really cool that happens alongside of it to make the overall product suck less, basically, right? uh, is an example of stimulus pairing. I was thinking about when I was building this, it's kind of like cooking when you are tasting something and you're like, oh, this is bland, it needs some salt, or oh, this is terrible, it needs sugar. You add something to make your overall product a little bit better. So
Yeah.
when we are adding the layer of those contingencies, when you're coming up with the fun things to do within your event, uh, then we are creating something that is overall more pleasurable, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And so the example that I have here is like a boring task like vacuuming. I don't like vacuuming. I hate vacuuming. But if I set myself some rules that are like, I'm going to make a cool pattern in the floor while I'm vacuuming, I'm going to get all of it, but I'm going to like also make a cool pattern while I'm doing it. It makes it more interesting. It pairs that boring activity with a more fun activity to make a little game. So
Mhm.
Hmm.
I want to ask you your turn to give me some examples of some boring tasks that you put some contingencies or some rules on to make a game. What's something that you
Uh,
do, Aaron?
Whenever I wash dishes, I tend to try to get a little like a funk song going on in my head or some sort of beat so that I'm like kind of like dancing and like dancing with the dishes to have a little fun with it.
That is
Yes,
me when I do any chore.
right. And your thing is like, I'm gonna do this to the beat and I'm making it fun. It's very, very cool. And this
Yes,
is
you
my
dance
rule.
with your vacuum cleaner,
Yes,
cleaning the
yes.
room.
What else? What else do y'all do? Luke, you got
I
anything?
put timers on things like 2-minute
Ooh.
timers, like, because I can't focus on things. And so I'm just like, if I do it really fast in 2 minutes, and then I can move on to something else for 2 minutes. So I'll have like 3 things going, and I have to do it as fast as I can, and then I have to do something else as fast as I can, and it makes it feel like an obstacle course.
That's amazing.
Don't
I
judge me,
love it.
Karen.
I love it. If any journeyers in the chat want to put things in, it's probably going to take a while, and we'll probably like answer, like revisit it later. But go ahead and feel free to type out some of your things. Anyone else? Lukey,
Yes,
you got
please.
one?
Yeah. When I'm cleaning my porch, it just collects leaves all the time. So basically, I clean a little part, and I'm like, yeah, I cleaned that. Okay, cool, great. I'm gonna clean another part. Yeah, I cleaned it. Oh wow, it's almost done. So yeah, so
Yeah,
kind of like just appreciation of little parts. Uh, that's kind
I
of what I do.
love it. I love it. That's awesome. So yeah, so those are ways that we can do some gamifying and utilize play in our grown-up lives because, like you said, Yinka, it's hard for us as grown-ups to do it.
Mhm.
And so this is the time where I transition to Shannon and Aaron, who are getting to play because we're doing improv, which is play, because again, it's mentally stimulating and you're not going to starve to death. But so let's see you play in an improv scene. What do you think?
I
Yeah.
love it. It's our
Let's do
turn.
it.
I I want to know how you like it. I put orange juice in the cornflakes instead of milk.
You really did. You really
Yes,
did.
because I thought the dairy. You said you didn't like dairy, but then I was like, it's something spicy, something out of this world, something
Yeah,
exciting. What could it
I can
be? You
taste the
already drink
spice in the
orange
orange
juice.
juice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can
yeah.
taste
And
the
then the
spicy
flaky, the
orange juice
crunch,
in my cornflakes. Yes.
the crunch of the cornflakes. Crunch and spice.
Dear, do you think that maybe retirement was a bad call for you?
No! I really
Okay,
love
sure.
everything that I've done. You
Yeah.
didn't like the hole that I put in the wall just for ventilation? I thought, "Outside, come inside. Outside,
Very
come
efficient.
inside."
Yes, yes, yes. And the redecoration throughout our bedroom is wonderful. The maps really help me in the rest of our day. That's true.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
thank you. I mean, the thing is, you go out and then you come back home and something is different. It's like another world. It's like you'll never know
Mhm.
where exactly you're going to be.
It has certainly felt like a different world since you retired, dear. Hmm.
I I think you should retire too. I think you and I should go on an adventure of retirement. We could rent a submarine. People rent submarines. It's like renting an RV, right? But underwater. Underwater RVing.
But you're not going to put a hole in the wall for ventilation on the submarine, right? Or the RV?
Well, I mean, if it's an RV, what is holding you back? Tell me what's holding you back from retirement, from joining me here in our Hobbit home.
You seem to have too much free time. Like you seem to be, just really stretching to find things to do. And I feel like if I retire, I will be the thing you want to do, and not in the way that I was kind of dreaming of when we were younger, but like in a very real, what will I wake up to each day sort of way, Glenda. And I
Could
and I
no,
mhm,
go ahead. You
I,
you what?
I I'm starting to wonder if maybe it wasn't work that you were through with, but just a phase of your life. And maybe we're kind of just approaching another phase of your life that will be full of activities that get you out of the house and challenges that get you out of the house and new friends and ideas that ask you to go get out of the house.
Well, there's a pattern. I was missing it. I was hearing challenges
Mhm.
and friends, and then I
Mm,
heard over and over again the getting out of the house. Is this what you're
yes, yes. It's so hard to paint when your loved one, your dear partner is giving you pointers and suggesting changes in your studio while you're trying to paint.
the studio's too small of a studio. I
It
need
is
the
for two
house.
people. No, it's yeah, you can't. But the screen door was great. It was great. It's a good
And now we have
idea.
screen walls. Screen?
Screen walls. Glinda, I think you need more in your life. More than just me and our house and our time together. I think you need something just for Glinda.
A submarine? A submarine.
I'll take it. You know what, sweetie? Yeah, a submarine. Be it sandwich or submersible, maybe it will do something to pull you into a new phase of your life because I gotta be frank, you're amazing at accomplishing things. When you set your mind to it, it's instantaneous, scarily so. You could solve almost any problem in the world, any of the world's problems outside the
Y
house.
I'm gonna pack up. You've inspired me. I'm packing and I'm going out into the world, maybe under the world, submerge my talents.
Submerge.
You are so inspiring to me. You've loved me all my life, and I can't tell you how much it means for you to truly see who I am.
I can't. I'm going to make you a special dinner tonight at
Really?
7 o'clock. I won't see you till then. I love you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
That's our scene. How about that? Oh, this Glenda
Beautiful.
person really I don't know how that marriage or that relationship is working. They're really
It was
good together.
going great, Glinda. For years, it was going great.
One
But
of you is
now we have
very patient, is how
well,
that would
yes,
work.
yes, one of us is.
Well, so speaking of that, so when we take this time to break down our scenes, we like to talk about how you as improvisers were playing and using our skills. So I want to ask about the games of the scene, which is something that a lot of improvisers we talk about like the game of the scene. Um, and I want to know so that we can talk about that pretty explicitly and have our joiner ears understand what that actually means. What were the games in this scene?
Well, obliviousness versus pointed conversation, right? Sort of like I think a lot of what was really working about that was Shannon was letting her character be oblivious to what her partner was trying to tell her, and that was great.
Mhm.
Yeah. There are some physicality games for me, right? So Aaron started with something sort of lower with the soup down here, and I just went the opposite energy of that. And I think the game for me was how much of the screen can I take up with my hands as the smaller that Aaron gets, like maybe you should go out. Like how big can I get? Um, that was a game for myself.
I love that. And I love that. So those are examples of when we're talking about game, examples of rules or contingencies that we place. Just what you said, Shannon, the contingency of when he's smaller, you get bigger. And Aaron, the rule of like of the like reserved and the like the out like that, the contrast. And so that's what we mean when we're talking about games. And uh and those are really excellent examples of ways that we can play with relationships and why we do games and improv scenes. Why do we do games like that in improv scenes?
Is it for the same reason we do games in all other parts of our lives, Emily?
I think so. Yeah. Because
It's
how
the
boring.
equation,
Yeah,
right?
it's an equation. Because it wouldn't have been very exciting if it was just like you two just like very plainly talking about things.
Belinda, you need to get out of the house.
I refuse.
And it would be confusing if you were just throwing out random stuff, right? So following those set of contingencies and really playing with that is what makes it interesting. And same with life. Speaking of life, do you want to do some hanging out with Luke and work on? Hang on. How does a mirroring work? Look with Luke, he's down there, and work on how to use play in life skills.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Bring on the
Go
Luke.
do drama therapy.
Hey. Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Hello. Hello. Wait.
Hi, Luke.
Hey. Wait. No. Hello.
I, really-
There we go.
I love
Aaron,
this. I
Shannon,
love.
yeah.
Oh
Okay,
gosh,
okay,
this
cool.
is a
Great.
game. We're playing. Oh, I see. I
Mhm.
see. I see. So many levels of play.
It's fun. Yeah. So hi. Yeah. I'm Luke. I'm a registered drama therapist, and yeah. Today, just gonna look at like some different factors. We looked at like how play and game can function on stage and in behavior, and then we're gonna look at it a little bit off stage. And just what gets in the way of playfulness. We're gonna like kind of look at that as adults. Yeah. So for example, like we just saw Aaron's character, was like the sense of play for Aaron's character was a lot about like discipline and being like, okay, we've planned everything out. Like that's playful to Aaron's character. Whereas Shannon's character is like, okay, let's do all the stuff, all the stuff all the time. So we have like different modes of being playful as it progresses. But yeah, I want to see if we can do a demonstration of a game. And let's see, those of you in the chat, as well as Emily and Yinka, I'm going to ask to be thinking about different factors to affect this game. Factors, not just rules, but also like, okay, like it's rainy outside. So things like that may affect like how this game is going to go. So yes, let's get to the game. So Aaron and Shannon, we've played this we played this game before, an improv Dutch clap. Oh, that's my dog. But we'll do it online. Yeah.
Oh, you're crazy.
Online.
Don't worry, it'll be great. So we'll play this 2 times. We'll play it one, and then we'll reflect, and then we'll play it again after the reflection. So for those of you who don't know, we're gonna play an online version of a Dutch clap. How it goes is 2 people, they're partners, and they clap together, so kind of like that. And then they can individually they can make choices to put their hands up or put their hands to one side or the next, right? So yeah. But the rhythm is basically just like you always like meet together and then can make a choice and then come back and meet together again and see if you the game is to see if you match up with those hands. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. And then yeah. So let's just try it out, practice that first off, and then for those of you in the chat and those and Yinka and Emily, I'll be asking for factors as we're going along. So let's just do like three different versions of it. Yes. Yeah. And go for it, Aaron and Shannon.
We're just going like super slow.
Yeah.
Smart.
Okay. Cool. Oh,
Are we
yo.
winning?
Yeah, they're winning. I guess, you know,
Oh,
yeah. So, okay. So let's pause. You guys are doing well. That's great. That's great.
So
Yeah.
slow.
Found a nice rhythm to it. Let's start off. Yinka or Emily, do y'all have a different factor to add to this game?
One of you has your eyes closed.
Ooh, okay.
Best guest ever. Period. Well done.
You said any factor. One of you has one eye closed.
What? No,
Oh,
I would take both. Aaron
Okay.
says both eyes. Okay, here we go.
okay.
Let's
Right.
play, Aaron.
Are we winning? Are we winning, Shen?
We're winning so many. We're winning so much.
All right, great.
Okay.
Thank you, Yinka. And let's see. Is there?
I can't wait to watch the video of this. It's gonna be great.
Do you want to stack these rules?
Yes,
Luke?
we're gonna stack
Okay.
these rules.
So how about whenever they do match up, Shannon makes a joyful noise on the next push and clap.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So Aaron's eyes are still closed, and I get to be in church.
Yes.
It's a
So you tell me when to
noise.
start.
All right, let's go. Yay! I think.
Okay. Cool.
No, this is great. So we're gonna play this until.
Oh, sorry.
we can't play it.
Hey, I opened my eyes.
Good job.
It's a miracle.
Let's
A
see.
miracle occurred. I had
Y'all are doing amazing. Let's add one more. Let's see how it goes. And let's see. Let's add a chat. Anybody in the chat that has a different factor to add to this. I was wondering, Emily, if you could help me read because I can't read.
Yes, we don't have anything new in the chat yet. So while they're thinking about that, I want a vamp.
calling it.
You can
Calling it. Good job.
and they alternate whose eyes are closed.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So-
There's a recommendation to alternate the eyes.
Alternate the eyes. Okay, cool.
Okay,
So
that means I have to make the joyful sound then.
Yeah.
I
so
guess like
this-
whoever sees it, whoever's
let's
eyes are open.
let's
makes the
see what
joyful sound.
happens.
Yeah.
All
We'll
right.
start with your eyes closed though, okay?
Okay.
Okay. And go.
and alternate.
Not a joyful noise. No. Only joyful. Yay!
Yeah.
Yay! Okay, now you close your
I
eyes.
closed
Okay.
my eyes. I closed. Come on, Aaron. Come on, we can do this.
Yeah! That was fun.
Great job.
Oh God.
Very playful, very lovely, very lovely. Yeah.
We are adults. This is amazing. I love it. Keep going.
Oh God.
Yeah.
The rest of the
Possible.
show,
Great.
just this. We get good at it.
So that was a very complicated game. Y'all did awesome. Yeah. So like part of it as we grow up, you know, like as kids, like if you think about like, you know, the favorite toy that you played with and things like that, you know, there wasn't any rules. You just kind of like you know, played as you went along, everything like that. But as we go up and grow up, there's a lot of different factors that kind of like get in the way of that, being like, oh well, you know, like there's that's kids stuff. I don't do or like a different sense of stress. You know, like you may schedule too much fun in your life and be like, oh God, it's all blended together. It feels like work. So it's like, oh, so things like that. But I came across a really great quote from The Art of Is by Stephen Nashmanovich. Yeah. Um, and and he said, if you've learned to play the violin very well, your technique can become a jail. But if you retain your childhood capacity to use the instrument as a toy and couple that with your expertise, your technique can become anything you want it to. So yeah, so that's kind of what we're looking at with this game. Is just like, okay, you know, how can we still keep the playfulness going? And what was happening was that even though like there was like, okay, we're gonna add another rule, we still found joy in it, found a way to play with it still, and be like, you know what, I'm gonna choose to have fun with it. And yeah, so uh, yeah, I just want to like you know, kind of like look at like any you know, reflect on that just a little bit. I don't think I think we got the point of the game. but but yeah, so like you know, but like a lot of solutions that we can come up with, you know, with finding the playfulness again as an adult. You know, we gave space to like figure things out. We talked it out about like, okay, do I alternate or do you alternate? You know, we figured it out. As well as like there wasn't like expectations about like, okay, I'm gonna go this way, you go this way too. You know, there wasn't a lot of like over talking about that as well. Really cool. Any reflections from anybody? Let's start with Aaron and Shannon. Any reflections from y'all?
So sometimes there's the point of the game, which like would be like to score points, or in this case to sync up. But then there's the other point of the game, which is to have fun. And it's really great when you can play both at the same time.
Yeah, there's definitely a feeling of I have to check myself because with my eyes closed and there's no feedback, it's like I was getting frustrated. I was like, Aaron, just cheat in my head. Like, just, you know what I'm going to do. Do it right. And there is, like you're talking about, like we've been talking about, there's a expectation. And what Yinka said at the very beginning, it's hard for adults to play. It's hard for us to just sort of release and let go and have a good time without something in our heads suddenly like really wanting to win or to get it right or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting as a non-participant in the game, how excited I got when you all got them right. I was like, it made me a part of the play.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's so exciting. It's so wonderful. Yes. Emily?
I also like how when we're talking about rules within a game, to also see how we explore the things that aren't really rules yet, right? Like all for the last one, all they said was alternate. We didn't say like how often to alternate, and we didn't say like that we couldn't say with our out loud voices, now it's your turn. We didn't say you couldn't cheat. So like I think it's fun to watch and to be aware of when we're playing how we are kind of how we're exploring the things that aren't solid rules. So I thought that was very fun.
Yeah, Shannon.
One of the other things that is interesting when I'm thinking about it, Yinka said, oh, how excited she was when we got it right. And in my head, there's an awareness that we have to have that when we are playing and other people see us play, it invites them to have a feeling of playfulness. And that's, I'm thinking about like when you're sitting at a cocktail party. Cocktail parties are coming up in my head because it's holiday time. But like you're sitting at a cocktail party and everyone is like just so the most boring. They don't want to talk to each other and they don't want to, but then like the good song comes on and that one person is like, come on, guys, like, come on. And you're like, I mean, okay. And then they start, the vibe begins. But it takes to see other people having a good time or being playful to feel comfortable with that.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, another thing that I found was that, like, if you had been playing your character, Aaron, like, your character might have had a lot of expectation about, like, no, we're doing this, doing that, like, and so a lot of it is just about, like, letting go of the expectation and feeling safe to do so as well, and feeling okay to do that, and to find trust in being like, cool, we're just gonna dance at the cocktail hour, we're gonna, like, and just have a lot of fun, and not worry about so much, about how I expect myself to be, as well as other people. So,
Yeah.
so great job.
That's good. We did
Yeah.
we did it, y'all. We did
Yeah.
some drama therapy. uh this is the thing though. We're not done yet. We still need to talk to Yinka about how playfulness shows up in her life.
Yeah.
Do,
You know
We're
what you
about to
mean
do
now.
it. We're gonna get yeah.
Yay!
Hi, Yinka. Right. High fives, high fives. It's so good. Okay, listen, this is the thing. Yinka and I have been friends for a really long time. Since high school, we've known each other. And this is the first time she's been on my show, and it's awesome to have you. Just awesome.
I'm
Uh,
happy to be here.
Good, good. Will you so we hinted at it a little earlier as to what you do. You are it's just a phenomenal event planner, working all over the world at this point. And will you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So I own an event planning company and I do in-person, virtual, and hybrid events. And like Shannon said, I do events all over when it's in person, and then I do a lot of events in the virtual space as well. And I love it. Love it. I've always planned events ever since high school. It's in my
Absolutely.
bones.
It's really good. And so talk to us so far, just give us an overview about what you've noticed today and how it's during the show and how it's seeping into your thought process for events.
So one of the things that immediately came to mind was when Emily was talking about the boring, and then some sort of rule, um, the T stimuli that equals a game. So let's go back to 2020. Right. And virtual was the thing, right? We were all on Zoom consistently. And how boring was those webinars we were all on? Consistently boring. Fast forward to 3 to 6 months later, then this term called gamification came about in the virtual space. And that was trying to solve that boring webinar to create another stimuli to have more, and it became more of a game. And now gamification in the virtual space is huge. All the platforms have some sort of game attached to it, whether it's badges that you have to collect to when you go to certain sessions, or networking, you have to connect with other people and you get points or you get a leaderboard. So that really resonated with me, especially me being in that virtual space, because now I can't even think about putting on especially a virtual event without having some sort of gamification attached to it. So that really resonated with me.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm wondering a little bit even about how you not treat, but when your clients come to you and they are the client that's like, this is this is a board meeting and we just need people to sit down in their blue ties and then everything needs to be blue and then we're going to say the word blue and then we're going to be done. I don't need any fancy new colors. Like, so how do you engage with them and get them sort of on your side when it comes to playfulness?
Well, I find myself to be very playful just in general. I think I have a very playful, happy, bubbly personality. So just having a conversation or a call with me breaks down that kind of rich, that structure that some of those clients, and I do have clients like that. They're very by the book. That's all they want. They only want that blue. But being me, I will say things like, yes, we can do blue, but how about a light blue or a blue with a pinkish tint to it? And so, to kind of combat that very structured event that they want to have. So being playful helps navigate that conversation, and it helps me. It helps my clients trust me to put on an event that we are going to use that certain blue, but it's not going to be the exact blue that you want. But we're going to just infuse a little playfulness into that blue to make it pop a little bit.
My last thanks, first off, thanks Erin for just, I'm just like, I'm here, I want to talk to Yinka.
Hi, Erin.
Hey, Yinka. I'll contribute, but I'm watching y'all interact. It's very cute. It's good.
Erin, do you have questions for Yinka?
Well, sometimes, can you give us any like secret weapons or like things in our toolkits that when we do get into those meetings that don't have a Yinka, that we can bring a little Yinkiness to it?
Ooh, that's a good one, Erin. Are you asking me that as the attendee?
Yeah, because usually I'm not putting these things on. Usually I'm attending. That's right.
Okay. Well, if you don't have a Yinka in as your planner, I would say, if you have that personality, if you are the person who is going to be that first one to dance in the cocktail party, then be that first person to introduce yourself and make a joke and, kind of loosen up the room a little bit. That's going to help. And the minute you do that, other people are going to, there's always another person in that room that's like, nah, I have another dad joke.
Yeah, it's Erin.
Yeah.
Yes, I do have a few dad jokes. All my jokes have become dad jokes for years now. So it's very good. It's handy.
So good. Okay. So we'll talk a little bit more about this and ask you more questions. But before we do that, Yinka, are you ready to play an improv game with us?
I am. I think I am. Yes. See what I did there?
Just as a reminder to journeyers, when we have guests on our show, we seek to gather people who are not improvisers so that you can see that, playfulness or improv is just infused in our lives, even if you don't do it professionally. So yeah, let's play. Let's go. Let's play. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Erin, you had an idea. Oh, about ages. Will you explain this game to us?
Sure. To demonstrate the playfulness that will be inside you your entire life, the three of us will be in some sort of scene, and then at some point, when they choose to, either Luke or Emily will call out a number, and that is a different age. So 6-year-old or whatever, and then we will continue the scene, but suddenly we'll all be 6. With all the things that go along with being 6. And then maybe they'll call out like someone a much older age or an in between or whatever they want, right? And we'll just try to be that age while continuing whatever scene we've been in from the beginning. Does that make sense?
Perfect. I love it. From Luke, can you give us like a location where 3 friends might be hanging out?
At the mall.
Dude, at the mall. Awesome. And I think, we're at the mall. That's all. That's it. We're at the mall and we're our normal ages, as in we are the ages we are right now to start until Emily or Luke throws out a number and we'll all become the same age. Is that right?
Yeah.
Great. All right. Well, here we go. Guys, this is great. I haven't done any of my Christmas shopping. I haven't seen you guys in a long time. And I feel like just hanging out with you and knocking out some like real work is just bringing goodness to my soul.
Yeah, and for real talk, I need help. Sometimes I want to get gifts for people, and I just doing a terrible job. So I'm thankful to have both of you here to kind of keep me in check.
I understand. I'm here. White elephant party, so I totally have to get that gift.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to like a Spencer's Gifts or something wacky for those white elephant gifts, because they always should just be a little bit weird, right? Like that's the point.
14 years old.
Oh my God, I
Like,
love Spencer's Gifts. Totally. We
I
should
know.
totally go there. Yeah. It's my
And
favorite.
I don't know if I can stay very long because my mom's supposed to pick me up like at 6 and it's already 5 o'clock. So we've got to like hurry because I don't want to be late. Last time I was late, I got in so much trouble, you guys.
Sure, there's like no clocks in the mall. You just tell your mom there's no clocks.
I can't lie like Janice can lie. Janice like can get away with anything, Janice.
I'm sorry that I'm just better than you, Shannon.
Whoa, that's my
Hey.
real name, Janice.
Whoa, we are guys, this is not the kind of conversation we're supposed to have at Spencer Gifts, okay? This is a sacred place, okay? We always
Listen.
agreed about that.
Listen, Mark, I don't have any money, so just take a couple of things and put them in your pockets.
No.
72.
They'd never arrest me. They never would. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take this whole store and put it right in my pocket.
That's right. Remember, Janice, remember a long time ago when we took that whole watermelon right out the store. Remember we were together? No one stopped us.
No, I'm 72. Don't remember.
5 years old.
Yeah. I'm gonna get you the best gift. It's going to be $169 billion worth of fun, and it will be great. And Janice, I'm gonna get you the even better gift.
I want it.
Oh,
Okay.
oh,
I will get you both $152,000 billion worth of good gifts.
Okay.
I have to go to the bathroom.
This is a mall. There's no toilets. They're all fake.
No.
There's
Okay,
just big
it's okay.
fountains.
180 years old.
Life was good. Remember life when we
Yeah.
lived on Earth? You know?
I feel like the afterlife in a mall has both advantages and disadvantages. Janice, seeing your offspring come here every year to honor your memory, decade after decade, warms my ghostly heart.
It is the best gift I could ever ask for. Year
6
after
months.
year.
6 months. Why would my parents bring me to a Spencer's? Good job, everybody. Good job. Good job. We did improv. Yinka did improv.
For the first time ever.
Snarky
Thank you to our
14-year-old
journeyers for all those suggestions.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Oh, we've got -10. We could have been -10. Thank you, journeyers. All right. Let's all together now talk about these things. Hooray! You did it, Yinka! Yay! Everyone will be so proud. We're so proud of you. Okay, so this is the spot where we sort of we start wrapping up and leaving our final thoughts. And Yinka, first off, how was that game for you? How was doing some improv that you've never done before?
That was great. I learned a new rule. Don't say the real people's names.
You know, and it's funny because one of the things is like names be danged, it's fine, but like our relationship in real life is very close to that exact back and forth. Sorry, I'm better than you, Shannon. I'm like, whoa, that's real. That's how we talk. My friendship is out on blast. So yeah, that's the only reason. But yeah, how that's a rule. That's a rule, or not even a rule, but a thing that you learned. How think of, if you can, if it's possible, to think about this game specifically and how it even would relate to what you do in real life, whether that's career or just, you, Yinka Freeman, moving through the world.
Honestly, I tell a lot of people that I tend to be a chameleon with my clients. I try to match them, match their personalities, match their speaking style, match the way they write emails sometimes. So this was great because you threw out an age and I had to match that age. That was really it. My brain was like, oh, you do that quite often in your everyday, not to be fake. I'm not ever fake, but I just always try to mimic them, my clients, as much as possible. So if I have a client that is very blunt, very strict to the point, they're not going to say, hi Yinka, how are you, how was your weekend? It was like, no, do you have the budget, is it in? Then I mimic that in my email to say, yes, it's right here, that's it. I'm not going to fluff up my email to them. So that game that we just played was just really interesting since we had to all match a certain age.
Yeah. And I'm guessing that helps to make the client feel comfortable in
Very
general.
comfortable. Yes,
Mhm.
very comfortable.
I love this. I know that Emily and Luke and Aaron as well will talk a little bit more about it, but it's so interesting to hear you actually already gamifying your life. You're doing things that we didn't, we're all doing it, but we just didn't know that there was like literal equations that do that. So yeah. Before we let you go, as far as journeyers, people who have never seen or never done improv and are thinking to themselves, improv is just for funsies. There's none of it in my life. It's not good for me, or I'm too scared to tackle it. What say you to them? Yes,
I
what say
tried
you?
it. You try it too. you know. But the one thing that I have learned, especially seeing you do improv, is really how much of the principles in improv you do every day. You really truly do in your personal life. It's just you don't think, oh, I'm doing improv right now. But there's all these principles within improv that adults, we as professionals, we use every single day. And it's always interesting to see it come out or do something like this, a game, and then think about, oh, I play this game every day. Every time I write an email, every time I hop on Zoom, I play this game. I wait for my client to come on, and then I mimic how their personality, how they're talking. That so for an hour, and sometimes it's for an hour, it's a yes and, right, that I'm doing, because I'm like, yes, I can do that. And what about, have we thought about that? Yes, I can do that. And what about this? So it's always interesting to see it sneak up. And then at the same time say, no, I don't do improv. No, that's for French dancers.
But you do it secretly.
I do it.
Yinka is a secret improviser. Thank you, Yinka. Thank you for being here. Stay right where you are. Don't go anywhere. Luke, what wise words? What's inspiring you after seeing all of this and making us have a good time?
Well, yeah, I just got to come back to like, a lot of people have different expectations of what, playfulness is. And so it's just always about like, yeah, finding that balance, and letting go of your own expectations, if you feel safe and ready to do so as well. Yeah, and just, so finding your own level of play, is really important, being aware of that.
Yeah. Thank you, Luke.
Mhm.
Emily. Emily is
Uh,
loving what Luke is saying. That's the face Emily is making.
I do. I love it. I love, letting go of our uh preconceived notions of like the rules that we've kind of like made up in our head, but aren't like actual rules on the outside, you know?
Mhm.
Uh like we said when we were playing when we were playing any of these games, right? Um, we in this last game, all you had to do was be a different age, but you could within that do whatever you wanted. When you were 6.5, you just like or when you were 6 months old, you just screamed, and Aaron just looked at the camera. So like no, so it's fun to like go of like having to be like I have to be exactly like a 6 month old, uh,
Right.
and really just play with what you can do. It was awesome.
Great. You all are amazing. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Yinka, for taking time with
you.
us. This has been an amazing, like, just time. It's great to have my bestie here, and also just to have you really your expertise in your field, and connecting it to what we're doing here in improv and with playfulness. Obviously, we also have excellent experts in Emily and Luke. Thank you both for bringing what you bring. I see you later. I'll see the three of you later. Aaron and I need to chat for a little bit. We love you. We love you. We love
Love
you.
you
Bye.
guys.
Aaron.
Shannon.
It's
Yes.
it's just another great episode of On and
Oh,
Off the Show. I
what a way to finish
playfulness.
a season. Oh, so
Yes.
good. Feeling so good about it.
Anything you're taking away this evening from beginning to end? Anything new that dawned on you?
Yeah, I think what really struck me was how much playfulness is a choice, right? How much it's something that we are bringing into our lives, and how valuable it was, whether it was sort of the equation or from Emily, or the assertion and showing it from Luke, that of how to make that choice and how powerful that choice can be, and to see how the Yinka's making that choice every day as a professional and bringing it to others. It's just enlivening, and it's making me want to make that choice more often in my own life, and that's great.
Absolutely. The thing that she said about realizing that we're already doing it. If you are thinking about, if you, Aaron, are thinking about making a choice, I think I am thinking about, oh, just recognizing I'm probably already playing. There's probably a game
Mhm.
already going on around me. And if I can lean into that, if I can lean into that, then other people will also recognize it and the game can continue, right? We're closing out community, and that's a big deal. Like
Yeah.
playfulness within community starts bringing people together, so we can talk, we can get on the same page. All of that is really important.
So we can be community. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, play so you can be community. Oh my gosh. Friends, family, journeyers.
Yeah.
This is the last one. This is our last one for the year. We'll start back up in January, but in between, check out our website because we've got Discord going on. We've got
Mhm.
classes. Luke is doing workshops. Emily is doing workshops in Richmond, Virginia. We have chapters opening up. I mean, the thing is, if you're talking about play, oh my gosh, we're playing with our lives and our
Mhm.
hearts. So
Yeah. Become a patron on Patreon and
right.
join us in more and more of our play.
Absolutely. Friends, family, journeyers, if we don't see you very, very soon, we will definitely see you on and
And off the stage.